Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I'm the Jury94, and welcome to another week of Behind the Stream, where we chat with your favorite streamers, ask them a few questions about what they do to make their stream so great, and just to get to know them a little bit better. So last week we interviewed Morph Games for the first kind of week of Behind the Stream, where we switched it from Quick Streamer of the Week to Behind the Stream, and it was a really good interview. So if you've missed that one, Morph Games is an amazing streamer. He loves to help other people out. So go check out his channel and go check out that previous interview. But as for this interview, we've got another Australian streamer on the show with us today. She's fantastic. She's been streaming for a long time. She's got such a great community, and she's such a good time to be with. So this week, I'd like to introduce you guys to Hannabealla.
Hi everyone. How you doing?
How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I've got my coffee now, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. With tea. Without tea.
Feeling a little bit more. We've had to do the meeting a little bit earlier this morning, just because I've got stuff happening after the stream that's kind of cut my time a little bit short today. So sorry for getting everybody up bright and early on a Saturday morning.
That's all good.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Hannah.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name's Hanna, obviously. I'm from a place called Albury in New South Wales, and I've loved gaming for as long as I can remember. Outside of that, I work in an art museum in education, which is a really fun, exciting job. I've got a few degrees in art education and curatorial studies. So that's kind of me outside of streaming. I've been streaming for about 5 years now. It's pretty close to 5 years. I think it'll be 5 in May.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Organize some kind of celebration for that.
Yeah, 24-hour stream.
Oh gosh, I did that once. That was a struggle.
Yeah, I heard about that stream.
Oh, brutal. 24 hours. I don't know how people do that regularly. It's hard.
I thought I would be able to handle it, like be fine with it when I first kind of entertained the idea, and then I did my first 12-hour stream, and I was exhausted after the end of 12 hours. I was like, how do people do this for another 12 hours? It's like insane.
12 hours is hard enough. 24 is just like next level.
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine. It's just all the Red Bull.
And I don't even drink caffeine, and I guess that's my problem. If I started drinking caffeine, I'd probably be fine.
Yeah, just bouncing off the walls like, yeah, let's go for another 24.
Exactly.
So Hannah, what kind of games do you play?
Good question. I really do play a mix of games. I'd say mainly horror, which is probably something I never thought I would get into. I don't really watch horror movies. I'm a bit of a sook. But some friends got me into Dead by Daylight, and since I started playing Dead by Daylight, that's kind of been the spiral into the horror genre.
Yeah, it's a good introduction to it. I find it's not that scary, but it kind of keeps you on your toes, especially when you're playing a survivor.
Yeah, definitely. And I found it terrifying when I started playing it. I played it for probably like a month, and then I was like, no, I can't do this. It's too much. It's too scary.
Have you played many?
And then I had a big break.
Yeah, okay. Have you played many other horror games like Outlast or something along those lines?
Not Outlast. Like probably not a lot of the story ones, but I played like Phasmophobia and gosh, what else? I guess like The Last of Us I would classify as horror. Maybe other people wouldn't.
I guess zombie survival kind of fits in that horror category anyway.
Yeah, I love The Last of Us. They're fantastic games.
Yeah, I've still got to play the second one. Haven't been able to get my hands on a PlayStation, so I've been missing out.
You got to play it. It's good. There's a lot of people who didn't enjoy it, but I loved it. It was great.
All right, I'll have to give it a crack. So what was your favorite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time? Gosh, that's actually a really difficult question.
It is.
I feel like there's so many good games out there. But I would say I probably have 2 favorite games of all time.
Okay.
Probably Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yep.
Is one of them.
Yep.
And I'd say like that's probably my favorite for nostalgic reasons more than anything else.
Yeah.
When my husband and I, we were dating when we were quite young.
Yep.
We were 17, 18. and he had a PlayStation 2, and I thought it was the most amazing thing ever.
Yep.
Because I was never allowed consoles, so I always wanted to play Kingdom Hearts. A lot of my friends were raving on about it, so he bought it for me one time, and I was kind of late onto it, but we played it together, and he did all the really hard boss fights, and I did the storyline,
Yep.
and we worked really well together there. And then I guess the other favorite game would be The Last of Us, the first game.
Yeah, they are two great games. Probably, I would have to say Kingdom Hearts is up there in my favorite. Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably up there in my favorites. Like, I liked Kingdom Hearts 1, but I felt the story was a little bit more all over the place. And it just felt a little bit, it was a bit more clunky. Whereas Kingdom Hearts 2, the combat in it was just so much better and so much cooler. And then, like, you had those form transformations.
Yeah.
Like,
great.
I don't know if you ever got the final form.
I think I did. I spent so many hours on that game. I played it so many times.
Yeah, that was the first game I ever 100% finished. I think, like, there's not many games I ever did, but I loved it that much that I finished it 100%. And, like, it was just so cool. Like, I love the final form when, like, Sora's Keyblades are just floating in his hands and he's just like, boom, 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 boom.
It's so quick when you're in the final form. It's just, yeah,
it was just amazing. And the story of it was really good. So, yeah, I agree with you. Kingdom Hearts 2 is probably one of my favorites as well.
Yeah.
And
I guess, like, with The Last of Us, it's the story for me, and I felt really connected to those characters. Like, it definitely related a lot to Ellie. Yeah, and I really, really loved Ellie. I've cosplayed as her a few times.
Yeah, nice.
That's cool. Playing as Joel, and
that's awesome.
Definitely. I think The Last of Us is one of those games you can play over and over again. It's still really good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, everyone can see that you're a bit of a Kingdom Hearts fan. You've got 2 Keyblades on the wall behind you there.
Yes, exactly.
That's so cool. So, if you could play only one game for the rest of your life, what would that game be?
Oh, gosh. I don't think I'd pick Kingdom Hearts 2 or The Last of Us, just because I think, they did get a bit repetitive if I was only playing them over and over again. Maybe Dead by Daylight. Like, I think providing they keep bringing out new content and fun events and things, like, I reckon I could probably play that for the rest of my life and be okay.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. That's a good game. Good game. So what was the first video game you ever played?
Ooh. Well, I think I was really lucky because, like, my dad used to fix PCs for a living, so he always had that interest in computers.
Yep.
And he used to buy these, like, PC magazines that came with floppy disks.
Oh, I remember those.
And I guess, like, it's probably people in chat who are a bit young for that, but floppy disks were, like, what was around before CDs. They were square, floppy, and they had things on them. Files or games. And one of the first games I played came from one of those PC magazines. And I think it was called The Treehouse.
The Treehouse.
But it was like, there was possums and there was, like, little mini games in it. I don't remember a lot of it. I would have been very young when I was playing it. And there was another game called Word Rescue. You kind of jumped around little worlds and collected letters and built a word. They were cool games. I found Word Rescue recently on Steam, and I was like, I have to get this. It's amazing. But they're very old games, and I was very young when I was playing them, so they're very simple kids games as well.
Every game back in those days, like, it's funny though, like, games aren't quite the same as what they are now. Like, back in those days when you're playing a game, and as basic as it seemed, it just felt like it was such a cool thing. Like, I remember, like, even just playing pinball on the PC was, like, so cool because it was a game on the computer. Like, one of my favorite games, and maybe not many people know about this game, but you could download it for free off the internet. It was called Little Fighter 2. And it was just like this side scroller, like, fighting game. And it was like 8-bit, but it was just amazing. And I used to play that all the time with my friends on the computer. But, like, let's go back to the magazine, like, magazine games. I completely forgot that was even a thing. I remember so many games that got introduced to, like, from magazine CDs. Like, you don't get that anymore.
They were normally demos, so like, you just got to play a little snippet of it, and it was cool. Like, I remember having Fear when Fear came out. That
Mm.
was on one of those, and I would have still been kind of young when that came out. And I remember playing it because it had a little picture of a little girl.
Oh.
As the little- Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. That was probably the
mistakes
first horror
mistakes were
game.
made.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's hilarious. I remember back when like you get the disc out of the cereal box. It was Age of Empires 2, and just
Oh,
how
yes.
how well distributed that game was purely from that. You don't get any of that anymore. Like games just don't get
No.
distributed. Like I guess everyone's got like much easier access to games now, but like Age of Empires 2 was just a staple with everyone because everyone had a copy of it.
That was a good game. Yeah. And all the cheats. What was it like Lumberjack and Stonemason?
Yeah. And my favorite thing is just even being able to do the voice commands. You press like 1 and it's like, yes. Wood,
Yeah,
please.
I forgot about those.
Gold, please.
That was a good game. I'll have to get back into that.
Yeah. They've recently brought out Age of Empires 4. Newest one, which is pretty good. It's like basically Age of Empires 2, but with better graphics. So if you are an Age of Empires fan, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I used to play it a lot with my brother because we'd be like just in opposite rooms.
Yeah. Yeah, I
We'd see
remember.
who could cheat the quickest.
Control V, Control V, Control V.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the best times though, like having those big LAN parties and like having everyone over to connect your computers up and like play Age of Empires. Or my friends and I used to play Age of Mythology as well, which is like the same
That
thing.
one was cool. I did play that with the Pegasus as well.
Yeah, like my missus and I actually play Age of Mythology every now and then, and she's actually really good at it. She beats me all the time with it. It's,
Good on her.
yeah, good on it. Like, and she doesn't play games much, but like that's the one game. Like if we're like, oh, we want to play a game versus each other, it's like Age of Mythology because I'm like, damn, because she's just like turtles. So like the whole time she'll just like build her base up, like so big that I cannot do anything to her by the end of the game. She just wins by building a wonder. So, no, she's pretty good at
awesome.
it. So when did your love for gaming really start?
Well, I guess it would have been those PC magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that like I had a PC from a very young age because Dad always had parts hanging around and he used to build us PCs growing up. Aside to that, it's a bit of a funny story. My dad built my brother this like Apple Mac. It was like one of the really old ones that he put together and salvaged. And my brother, being quite young, put the operating system in the recycling bin and deleted it. And like completely screwed the computer. And like it just somehow managed to break it entirely, and I'd still got it sitting at home. Like unsure of what the heck happened. It's just
that's hilarious. Like you couldn't even do that with computers nowadays. They wouldn't let you do it. But like back in those days, it was probably something that was capable of being done. But like I don't know. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that he was able to
completely brick a computer. That's hilarious.
But yeah, I guess like my love of gaming was probably from playing those. Like I said, we weren't allowed consoles growing up, but I did have a Game Boy, original Game Boy.
Yeah.
I had Mario on that, and we could play that when we were on holidays, so I always really enjoyed that.
Yep.
And then I guess gaming with Glenn, in high school, and later on getting my first PC.
Yep.
My first PC and really getting into League of Legends. League of Legends was like the first online game that I really got obsessed with.
Yeah, well, what a game to get obsessed with. I'm currently obsessed with it right now. I'm a bit late to the party, but it's not bad. I try not to play with like I'm playing mainly with my friends who have been playing it for a while, and they're teaching me the ropes. So I'm finding my experience isn't too bad. I've got chat turned off, so people can't be mean and nasty to me when I do something bad. So overall, I'm having an okay experience with it. I mean, I say okay because I'm not very good at it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It was a really great game, to be honest, when it first came out. I was playing on the North American servers. Like people weren't really obsessed with playing ranked or anything. So it was actually kind of a less toxic game when it came out. And then I guess once I moved over to the Oceania servers, it just went downhill for me.
Those goddamn Aussies.
I just wanted the free Zig skin. That's all I wanted. I was like, I'll do it for the free skin.
That's funny. So, what's your happiest memory of gaming?
Probably some of my happiest memories of gaming with Glenn, like just hanging out after school or after TAFE and playing through the Kingdom Hearts games. I'd watch him play like Hitman and some of those other games too. But apart from that, I think, I don't know, I don't cry very often, but I'm a bit of a sucker for crying with happiness.
Yep.
And I think one of those moments that I can remember with gaming was when Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming out. And obviously, anyone who's a Kingdom Hearts fan has waited forever.
Like 10 plus years.
Exactly, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And I really wanted the limited edition PlayStation 4. But it was very limited and I was worried that I wouldn't get it. Glenn was working and I was working. Anyway, I managed to get it and I cried. And everyone in my work office like thought I was a crazy person. I was crying over this console.
Oh.
And then when I actually got it, I also cried. But it's the most beautiful console. I love it so much.
You've still got it now?
I've still got it.
Yeah. I'm trying my hardest right now to get a PlayStation 5. And I'm finding it extremely difficult. So maybe I might cry when I finally get one.
Maybe.
Like every time I call the store, no, you gotta you gotta follow us on Facebook. And it's like I don't like, even if I did that, like I can't keep up with everything. There's so much going on Facebook, and then like they do an announcement that they're releasing the PlayStation 5, and then like 1 hour later, sold out.
It's gone. Yeah. Where are you going through?
I've got to go through EB Games because I've got a bunch of vouchers for Christmas. So
yeah. I went through JB Hi-Fi because a friend of mine worked there, but they had a waiting list. So you actually put your name on the waiting list and they just would go in through the list. Every time they get a batch in, you'd get a call.
Say,
do you want it? Yeah.
I should have asked for JB gift cards.
If you're desperate, go through JB.
Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. It was because there's a few games that I really want to play, like the new Spider-Man, that's Ghosts of Tsushima. Like there's so many games, The Last of Us 2. I feel like I'm missing out.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is also.
Oh yes, although that's on PC now, so I can probably get onto that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's on the Epic Game Store.
Cool.
Yeah, so guys, Final Fantasy VII, Epic Game Store. Epic Game Store sponsorship.
Game.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, please.
Yeah, please. So, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, that's easy. That's Eevee, for sure.
Eevee? Nice.
Eevee.
There's a lot of fans of Eevee in here. I think Jeff in chat is a huge fan of Eevee.
Yeah, nice, Jeff.
I've got an Eevee plushie somewhere in this room here.
I've got one right beside me.
I'm not I like Eevee, but my favorite Pokemon is actually Typhlosion. Yeah. So Cyndaquil, Final Evolution.
Yeah. Okay.
The first Pokemon game I ever played was Gold, and that was the first Pokemon I ever fully evolved. So it was just like has a spot in my memory. Although I've never actually Typhlosion or Cyndaquil is not in any Pokemon game except for Arceus until so it's been a forgotten Pokemon. So I'm glad that they're finally back.
Yeah, I remember Cyndaquil. I definitely played a lot more of the original Gen 1 Pokemon. And I think my first Pokemon I chose was Charmander.
Yeah.
Would have been, yeah.
Yeah. Charizard is probably or Charmander to Charizard is probably going to be my second pick.
Yeah.
I reckon. So, do you have a favorite streamer?
I wouldn't say I have a favorite streamer. I think the thing that I really love about Twitch is the sense of community and the friends that you kind of make along the way on Twitch. So I guess my favorite streamers are my friends that stream because I love to see the new content they're coming out with. I love watching them grow, and celebrating with them, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I wouldn't say that I watch a lot of the really huge streamers.
No, I can't say I'm the same. I think a lot of people that I speak to in like the smaller communities, not many people watch the big streams unless there's like an event or something like that. It's mainly because you can't engage with them as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like chat's just scrolling
It's
so
like bing, bing,
fast
bing,
and
bing.
like
Yeah,
I don't know how I guess they're just doing their own thing and they're not really paying much attention to chat.
yeah. Chat is more their own entity. They're just discussing with themselves, and
Yeah,
yeah, because
exactly.
I could when I got that raid from LCO the other day, and it was like
Mm.
my chat was just it was like going crazy. I couldn't keep up with it. I couldn't even like fathom going back and trying to read through all the comments because it was just so much going on. So I couldn't imagine like every chat going like that. It's just, and I think that's and I think this Morph touched on this last week. That's kind of like the inevitability of like streaming is like you probably like if you keep going, you might get to a point where your chat does blow up like that every stream, and then you lose that connection. So is it going to really change how the dynamics of your stream? Is it going to change how people react to your stream? So that's one thing that's kind of like I'm a bit worried about with like getting big is like, are you going to lose that connection with your stream or your chat?
Yeah, although I think it's different. Like some people have fairly big streams and they still have kind of a slower chat. Like a lot of people are just lurking for the content.
True.
I guess you've got to evolve and change how you're streaming the whole time you're streaming anyway. Like you start off talking to yourself a lot because there's no one in chat, and then you have to learn then how to get distracted from the game and actually interact with chat. And like you're forever kind of evolving and changing how you're doing things based on who's in chat and how you're going.
Yeah. I guess that you're right. They're like I remember and everyone's probably the same when you first start streaming. You got nobody in your chat, and you're just like you either like you learn quickly to talk to yourself just to keep engagement going, or you play with other people so you've got some other people to engage with. But when I first started streaming, I streamed a lot of single player games. I started streaming what was the game called? I can believe forgot.
Something really cool, obviously.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like medieval Dynasty. So it was like that farming, like medieval simulator game, and it's not a hugely popular game. So like it was very slow and engaging, slow and like a bit like people who came in were there specifically because they liked that game. So it was like it was very slow at first, and I didn't have anyone to chat to. It was just, and it can be a bit like daunting, and like you kind of start thinking, why am I actually doing this?
Yeah, what's the point?
But then you start getting those one or two people in your chat, and then you're like, and then they start coming back, and you're like, and then that's when it kind of evolves from there. So then you start learning ways to deal with that and handle that, and yeah. So I guess it's a constantly changing process.
Yeah, it is, and it's so nice to be able to like see the same people coming back, stream after stream, and saying, "Hey, you really get to form relationships and build friendships with these people." And I just absolutely love that. Yeah, so
it's like it says something about when you see that person's name pop up in chat, you're just like, "You're back." You're like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Yeah, and it's awesome when you then get to meet up with them in real life and hang out and have a few drinks or something.
Oh yeah, I've managed to meet up with a couple of people from my chat. Most of my chat is like pretty far away from where I live, but I've met up with a couple of people, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. PAX was always like the good event to do that.
PAX. Yeah,
poor PAX.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be back this year?
I hope so. Yeah. I was really, really hoping it would be last year. I got selected for the homecoming committee, so I got to like kind of be part of that process of like seeing if it was going to happen or not. And I mean, we didn't end up getting engaged with much in the end because PAC kind of flopped. Stupid COVID. But yeah, I'm really hoping it does go ahead next year.
I'm like, surely there's a lot of music festivals happening now, so like surely they'll have like PAX. So I'm definitely keen to go. I've never actually been to PAX before. I'm from Queensland originally, so like
you'll love it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm really excited. So when's it usually held?
It's normally held in October. So
okay,
yeah, we've got a little while.
We might still see it yet.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've just changed their little picture on all their socials to 2022.
So they're hopeful as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
So why did you start streaming?
Streaming was always something that I was interested in. I've been on Twitch since it was the Justin TV days, which seems like a very long time ago now. But I kind of just lurked and watched and wished, I guess, that I could start streaming. But the internet at my university wasn't good enough, and then the internet in my share house wasn't good enough, and then I moved back in with my parents kind of while I did some traveling overseas, and the internet was definitely not good enough there. They had like a capped internet, so streaming was just out of the question. So when I finally moved into my place, that's when I was like, right, I'm doing this, and I think I started streaming like the first week I moved in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I finally can do it. I'm doing it. And I mean, there was no, like, I can't remember why I started doing it. I think I was kind of like, I'm playing games anyway. Like, why wouldn't I stream? But yeah, I don't know. I think it's always been something that I wanted to do that I just hadn't been able to because the internet was an issue.
Yeah. I feel like for a lot of gamers, like streaming is like the next level. It's the next step in that progress. Like, I feel like it's kind of you level up into different types of gamers. So you're like starting out, and then like eventually everyone gets to a streaming stage where they just want to share that gameplay and with other people, because as you said, playing games anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well talk to people in chat and do it live.
Yeah, and I guess finding other people to play with too, you know, finding circles that play the same games, and yeah, it's nice.
That's probably been one of my favorite experiences with streaming, is that you do find such a good community within that game. Like recently when I've started playing League of Legends, and I'm streaming that now, I'm getting a lot of people jumping in just wanting to play League of Legends, and most people are generally pretty nice, or they're willing to learn, or they're still learning themselves. So I'm finding getting communities within these different games is really, really awesome. Like previously, it was you'd have to try and convince your friends to play, and if they didn't like the game, then you're playing on your own, or you're trying to find randoms online, which can be troublesome. Yeah, so like it's good to have that community, like, and be able to play with people who have been watching you and you've gotten to know just through chat.
Yeah, exactly. I agree, and that's how I've met like a lot of friends. Even before I was streaming, playing League of Legends, I met a bunch of guys from Perth, and like we still hang out sometimes. I've been up to visit them and have a party up there with them.
That's awesome.
You know, that's like, yeah, there's some good friends of mine that I don't talk to as much anymore, but we used to play like every single day, and whatever game I think they jumped from League to PUBG.
Yep.
And that's why I started playing PUBG, which I was terrible at. But, PUBG was good for streaming.
Yep.
And yeah, and then I guess I moved from PUBG to Dead by Daylight. So it's been a weird evolution.
Yeah. How do you choose what games to stream?
I guess I've always just played games that I've been interested in, and I think that's important, because if you're engaged in a game and you're really enjoying it, I think your community generally will enjoy it as well. And I think it's only been fairly recently that I've had a really structured schedule. I've had a schedule for a while, but you know, now I'm actually streaming Dead by Daylight on Tuesday. So anyone who loves Dead by Daylight knows that that's the day that I'm going to play that. Thursday is a mix of things. I kind of play the games that I've been wanting to play. Like I've gone through Life is Strange True Colors recently, which has been fantastic, and 7 Days to Die, and that's the day that I get to kind of experiment.
Play with other games.
Yeah, and then Sundays has been, Sundays is more engaging. So Sundays I do community night, and we play games that anyone can kind of jump in and join me on. So quite often that's like Jackbox, or this Sunday I'm going to be doing a board game night. So I've got a bunch of board games on Steam that I haven't played yet. So I figured that was a good opportunity to be doing that. Yeah.
I think it's important, and like to, as you say, like play games that you enjoy. Because I remember when I first was streaming, like I was like, I want to play this, and then I want to play this. And it's like, but then I was playing that game and I wasn't really vibing it. And then when you're not vibing the game on stream, everyone picks up on that. You're not having fun. So there's no point forcing yourself to play a game that you're not enjoying, because you're not getting any benefit from that at all. Even if it's the most popular game in the world, there's no benefit in forcing yourself to play a game you're not having fun with. Because that's the whole point of this. As much as you're trying to grow your stream and stuff, if you're not having fun with your stream, then you're just gonna have a bad time, and it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, and no one's gonna enjoy it because you're clearly not enjoying it.
That's right. Yeah, everyone's having a bad time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing a lot of PUBG days are amazing in chat.
Yeah, everyone's loving PUBG. Other thing is, like having a structured stream is important, because then everyone knows that you're playing those games all at the same time. Like I tried implementing that pretty early on, because at least then everyone was expecting the same thing every single week.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to balance. Like, you want to play games you're enjoying, and if you're losing interest in a game, but you're trying to play the same game every week, it's like, when do I make the switch? So it can be a bit tricky to balance that.
Yeah, and I think that's why I've now got Dead by Daylight 1 day a week.
Yeah. So you're not burning yourself out on Dead by Daylight every single stream.
Exactly, and it's this game that I still obviously really love. So, on Tuesdays I can play it. Like, if I wanted to on Sundays, I could join, get community to come in and play with me. But, at least it adds some variety to it as well.
Yeah. So what's your favorite? Like, do you have a favorite piece of streaming equipment?
I do. It's a very new piece. So for my birthday, my good friend Pod sent me down a Stream Deck.
Nice.
And I always thought it was like one of those pieces of equipment that you didn't really need. It didn't really do too much. It was just kind of a luxury thing.
Yeah.
But now that I've got one, I take that all back. It is. I couldn't live without it. It's amazing.
I'm the exact same. So I literally got my Stream Deck a week ago.
Nice.
And like, I was thinking the same thing. It's a luxury item. It's like, I only need to get it if I just happen to have a bit of spare cash lying around. And now that I've got it, it's game changing. Like, the things you can do with it, and and I thought it was just for scenes and changing scenes and maybe playing sound effects, but like, it can do so much more. It's insane.
Yeah, the way you can just set up one button to like change your Twitter name to live and open up, all the programs you need, and it's mad.
It's insane. And then like, I don't know if you've gone through, but you can actually download a whole bunch of songs through the app that they've got. So they've got like background music that you can download. There's sound effects and all that you can just use like royalty free. And there's heaps of it there, which is like if you've ever had to look up royalty free sound effects and music before, it's so difficult. So having access to all that in the Stream Deck is amazing.
Yeah, that's been one thing that's changed a lot since I started streaming is music. Like, I used to just play my Spotify playlist, and I guess maybe it's always been an issue, but no one ever did anything about it. Now you can't play like your own music. You've got to find ways around it.
Yeah, they've really cracked down on it, which is fair to the original creators of the content, but
it's totally fair.
But on that, there's still so much content available that you can play for free. Like at the moment, in this stream, we're listening to Hannabealla stream beats, because it's just so easy to play, and it's so fortunate there are people willing to allow their content to be streamed like that. So it's gotten a lot easier, but obviously, like some of your favorite music, it's hard to share with the community.
Yeah, that's it. And I feel like people don't really get a huge sense of like what genres you're into and I feel like playing your own music and the things that you really love gives people a bit more of an insight into your life and who you are.
Yeah.
But playing stream beats like doesn't so much. It's the same generic kind of music. I found it funny. My Spotify top 5 this year was like stream beats right at number 1.
Mine was too. Hannabealla was the one.
Pop punk. Yeah. I was like, this is a bit different, like stream beats, punk rock, like metal.
So what kind of music are you into?
I really love punk music.
Yep.
I don't know, I would say like the music that quite broad, my music taste, but I don't like country music. where I draw the line. Country
Me too.
music can stay away.
Yeah, I'm from a
And
small country.
Eminem.
I'm from a small country town, and I have had my fair share of country music. Like going to rodeos and just like it's blasting, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, you get a bit sick of it. It's just the twang for me. There's something about the twang.
It's the
in the
twang.
voice that-
Reapers in chat saying relieve country music alone.
Yeah, I've got a few people who I hang out with. A few of my friends that really love country music.
Yeah, myself, I like all kinds of music. So like I can get I don't mind listening to like the stream beats and stuff. Recently, my mates have been getting me into heavy music, like heavy metal and stuff, because they're all big into heavy metal. And somehow they've managed to get me into it, which isn't too bad because some of my favorite mixes. So I'm a huge fan of like trap and dubstep and all that stuff. Heavy metal and dubstep, they work well together. Strangely.
Yeah, they do actually. Like
Yeah.
I went through a bit of a dubstep, kind of liquid dubstep specifically stage. It's good. I didn't mind that.
There's a band called North Lane, who I really like because they just do it so well. So my mates have wrote me into going to Unify this year. So
hey, I was gonna go to that. I'm still like tossing whether I want to. But there's a few bands that I really want to see.
Yeah, it's everyone's pretty keen on that. So yeah. So what do you do on your stream to help keep your mental health in check?
I'm really glad people are talking about mental health more often now because I think for such a long time it's been something that's been really stigmatized and I don't know, even growing up, like mental health was, if you had mental health issues, like you're a bit weird.
Yeah, like don't talk about it kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Don't talk about it. Like there was people being kicked out of my high school for being a bit emo. And very nice way of putting it. But I always thought that was really like uncool of like my school to be doing that. I guess for me personally, I'm pretty good at being able to tell when I'm starting to struggle.
Yeah.
With my mental health, and I mean on the flip side of that, I'm really bad at taking time off. So I always feel really terrible about having time off, even from work, like falling in sick and being like, I can't come to work. I always feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm letting people down. But when I am struggling, I always go and organize to see a psychiatrist, go to the doctor, and and the psychiatrist that I do see, like she's been incredible over the years, and I think it's important. I think there's a real stigma around seeing someone too.
Yeah, well, I was actually just thinking like the fact that you go out and see a psychologist when you're feeling bad. Like there's so many people who would like their ego wouldn't let them. I remember the first time I went to see a psych, I was at a bit of a breaking point. And that's when I decided to do it. But like after I did it, I realized, okay, this isn't that bad. And it started making me realize like talking to people is fine. And like there's no reason to do that. And it's important. And I'm glad that like, I've been open about it, and it's important to be open about the fact that you do go to see one. And like, you're not crazy if you're going to see a psychologist. You're just concerned about your own mental health. And I think that's extremely important. And I don't know if you've seen that we do mental health streams on the first Thursday of each month, which like, even though we're not professionally talking about like mental health or anything like that, but I think talking about mental health and just talking about it's okay to feel bad or it's okay to feel down, but it's important to talk to people about it when you are, and recognizing those signs is extremely important. So it's as you said, it's good to see that people talking about it.
And I guess like going and seeing a psych isn't just if you're feeling down. Like, the first time I went to see one, I was feeling overwhelmed. Like I just had so much going on in my life. I was working full time. I was writing a thesis. I was living away from home for the first time. I was playing roller derby, which was pretty demanding. And I went and saw her, and she's like, yeah. And I was having trouble sleeping because of all of that.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, you've just got a lot going on. Like, is there anything you can give up? Like, well, I need to keep trying to job. And she's like, yeah, and you need some exercise. So roller derby, like you need to keep that. I was just like, well, there's nothing I can give up. But she gave me some like tips for sleeping better, and Like that's all it was the first time I went. But I still find a lot of people, don't really want to go and see a psych. They think it maybe won't help. But I think there's no harm in trying it.
Yeah. But the psych
hurt.
doesn't necessarily help you directly. Like they're
Yeah.
not actually someone that's just going to give you a magical cure that's going to solve all your problems. It's just talking to people and talking to someone about how you're feeling. Because that's what they do. Psychologists, they just ask you a lot of questions about you, what's going on. They don't do any talking really. They make you do the talking. And by you talking, you're opening yourself up and you're realizing stuff about yourself. So that's what they do. And then they go, okay, well, based on all that, this is a few things you should try out. And that's pretty much all there is to it. There's nothing that bad about them. I think just some people struggle opening up.
Yeah, and it really is like you get to choose what you talk about. If you're not comfortable talking about something, then you don't talk about it. So,
exactly.
yeah,
it's not as bad as a lot of what people think. And I can say that because I was one of those people that was like, my ego wouldn't let me go and see someone. So it took me until I was at a breaking point that I finally did, and I'm so glad that I did, because probably wouldn't be where I am now had I not. So how are we doing for time? Okay. So what's some advice you'd give to some fellow streamers who may be just starting out in the streaming world?
I think it's really important to find your niche and kind of stick to what you love doing and the things that you're good at, and also just being yourself. Like I think if you're trying to be someone else on stream, you're going to get really exhausted really quickly, and burn yourself out, I guess. I would say that keeping a schedule super important.
Yep.
I know a lot of people say that, and I was always like, yeah, whatever. Like, surely it doesn't matter that much, but it really does. Like people know when you're live, and they can plan to have you as part of their week.
Yep.
But if you're just popping up randomly, like they can't plan to be there.
Yeah,
So,
and
I'm sure they can.
some people can only like be online at certain times. Like for example, like one of my like she's like a Honey Lily who's always in my streams. She's always in at the same time because that's when she wakes up in the morning or like goes to bed. So if I'm all over the place with my streams, then she might not necessarily be able to be there at each stream, and over the time I might not have been able to build that same relationship. So it's important to always be streaming at similar times. So yeah, that is an important thing to do, and it also helps prevent burnout and just manage your game stream life balance.
Yeah, exactly. And I think promoting is super important as well. Like this is something that I've only kind of really just gotten into. Like I've always used, say, Discord and Twitter.
Yep.
But TikTok and Hover are something that I've kind of just picked up and started using fairly recently. And they're game changers. Like you network with so many other people using those other services.
Well,
so
TikTok is exactly how I found you.
Yeah, a lot of people are coming from TikTok, and I would have never believed it. Like, I saw a lot of TikToks about, saying that if you post 3 times a day, 2 or 3 times a day, like people will be able to find you. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But it's true. Like I've met a lot of people through TikTok as well.
Yeah, and it is so powerful, and like the amount of people that are on TikTok, and you're not only just targeting a lot of streamers who are on there, you're like other content like people out there as well. So you're drawing people from every crowd in TikTok, which is really good. I'm still trying to get my head around Hover, and trying to just build that up slowly. But I'm finding I don't know about you, but I don't use it myself. Like I post stuff on there, but then I don't actually look at other people's stuff very much.
I've been trying to get better. So the algorithm with Hover, which is something I found out probably a week ago.
Okay.
Is there's this gravity section at the top.
Yeah, I've always wondered what that was.
Yeah, so did I. And someone told me the other day in stream that the more that you post and interact with other people's clips and like visit their Twitch, and the more your gravity grows. So then more people will be able to see your content.
So the higher your gravity, essentially like gravity of a planet, the more you pull in. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I just was like, what is this stupid gravity thing? I don't understand this.
So that's actually pretty cool, because that kind of enforces engagement within their app, which is, yeah, that's a very interesting point. So everybody out there who is on Hover, fantastic tip. Do more stuff on Hover.
Yeah, and make things for hover, I guess, too. Like
Yeah.
I'm horrible for just reposting what I make for TikTok, but
Mm.
their clip functionality with Twitch is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you can just upload it straight from Twitch.
Yeah, exactly. It's really great.
Mm.
The other things like that I think are really important and that not many people do are networking.
Yep.
I think sometimes people just stick to their same circles and same friends and don't really branch out. But I think networking is super important. Joining stream teams is super important. Like getting involved in communities, doing things like this, like collaborations, multi-streams.
Yep.
It'll be like how you do grow your stream.
Yeah, meeting other people is like that's been how I've managed to grow like in the last 6 months is purely just like I probably have maybe 20% to 30% organic like people coming into my stream and following, but the rest is just from meeting other people, joining their streams, having fun with them and growing that because like everyone just and like and no viewer is like solely one person's viewer because like you're not live 24/7. So like I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people can be like a little bit protective of their community because they're afraid of losing them. But like everyone's gonna do their own thing anyway. So share the love with everyone essentially.
Yeah, I have noticed that too. People can be super, super protective of their communities, and to the point where I've noticed people don't raid.
Yeah,
which I think is like such a bad move.
Raiding is so important.
Raiding is so important, and occasionally I'll jump into someone's stream and they've got follower only mode on, and I'm like, oh, that's such a turn off. I will just like get out and leave straight away.
Yeah.
So don't put follower only mode on. That's terrible.
Yeah, especially the worst is when you're like trying to find a random streamer and then you raid them. And then they've got follower only on, and you're like, like it's okay. I don't mind following people, but it's just like you can't get that immediate engagement. And
I want to get to know them first before I see if I want to, give them the support.
Yeah. But I mean, for some people, it can be tricky. Like I know someone like MZ from our community. She actually had follower only on when I first came across the stream because she got a lot of hate raids.
Okay.
So it was a bit difficult for her at that point, but like probably that is a good piece of advice. So like follower only is a bit of a tricky one to leave on because it puts a lot of people off.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I can see where the wing's saying like sometimes you don't notice you have it on. Like I agree. Like there's been times where I've got botted or something, and you quickly turn everything on, and then you forget it's on.
Yeah.
But you know that you've still got it on. Yeah.
So based on your goals, like what are some of the processes that you're going through to get there?
So I think I've kind of got the same goals as like what most people on Twitch do.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to do it full time one day. That'd be incredible. It'd be such an awesome feeling to get that partner email one day.
Yep.
But I think it's unrealistic just to aim for that. You've got to have goals.
100%.
In between that as well. So, I guess like for now, my goals have been to change things up in my stream, work on my schedule, work on how my stream looks.
Yep.
Post more in TikTok, hover, really try and engage and do more collaborations. We've got a really cool collaboration coming up with Reaper, who I've seen in chat too, where we're doing a snack swap. So Reaper's from America, so he's sending over American snacks, and I'm obviously going to send him over some Vegemite and other Australian snacks.
Tim Tams?
And we're going to yes, Tim Tams are in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's like 20 different snacks. I had a lot of fun going shopping. So we've just sent that off, and that'll be at the end of the day. And we'll just sit on stream, kind of like what we're doing, and try the snacks. And
that's a fantastic idea. That's given me some ideas actually. She's going to poison me.
No, it's funny because I was kind of like, all these snacks are good. Like they're actually, I'm not giving you anything bad.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, I'm like, I suppose you're probably not going to enjoy Vegemite. You're probably not going to enjoy Wheat Bix.
I mean, Vegemite is one of those ones like you might really enjoy Vegemite. I really enjoy Vegemite. Like I didn't mind the chocolate Vegemite they did a while ago.
Chocolate Vegemite? I missed that.
You did. They did like like Cadbury Dairy with chocolate outside, like normal chocolate, but inside the
Wow.
middle was Vegemite.
So to kind of be like salted caramel chocolate or something.
Basically, that's what it was. It was like a salty kind of tangy chocolate, and I didn't mind it. Not some people hated it, which is fair enough, but I really liked it.
Vegemite's so good. It's like I have the fondest memories of Vegemite. My grandma making me breakfast in bed. Did you ever have Tiger Toast?
Tiger Toast? No. What's Tiger Toast?
Tiger Toast was something that they had on Play School, and like I loved it. It was it's basically like a piece of toast, put your butter on it, your Vegemite, and then you put a slice of cheese and grill it.
Oh yes. Oh, I've had like grilled cheese toasted sandwich before, like with Vegemite. Yeah, 100. I've had
Not
that.
a sandwich though. You've just got to like have the melted cheese on top of one piece.
Oh, I think I've had that before. I didn't know that's what it was called though.
Yeah, because you on Play School you put the cheese in strips, so you'd have like cheese, Vegemite.
Ah,
like
that's why it's called Tiger Stripes. I see.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so cool.
So everyone should go out and try that. It's delicious.
Yeah, right. So do you have a question that you would like to ask the next behind the streamer?
Yes. What's a quirky thing about you that people may not know?
Okay.
Would be my question. Yeah.
Just gonna write that down. Hannah, what's a quirky thing about you that people may not know?
Oh no. I wasn't expecting that.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. I feel like I'm really transparent, so a lot of my viewers already know this, but I love tomatoes. They're my favorite food.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Weird. I used to play roller derby.
Yes.
Uno reverse.
Yeah.
And I can tie a lolly snake in a knot with my tongue.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. You have a tea addiction?
I do have a tea addiction. I love tea, especially oolong tea.
Ah, nice. So, chat, we're coming to the end of the show. We've got a few minutes left before we wrap it up for our hour-long segment. But I mean, I'm happy to keep it going if we've got a little bit more
An hour.
time.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting through it. So, chat, what are some questions that you'd like to ask Hanna?
Thank you, Witherwings. This is one of my teams that I'm in, my shirt. This is Aussie Pride, the stream team. I'm also in Team OCE, part of the leadership committee for that.
Yeah,
which
nice.
is another great team. Yeah. But I like it too. I like the colour and the tie-dye.
If you could choose, like, what's your favorite, like candy or chocolate?
Oh, okay. That's really hard. I can't have dairy or gluten, so like it kind of cuts out a lot of the good stuff out of my life, which is really depressing. But there is this chocolate that you can get that has no dairy in it, and it's by Penia Organics, and it's like a fake chocolate but with coconut in it, and it's delicious.
Yeah, my partner, she's also pretty much the same, although she does skip out on the rules occasionally, and it suffers.
You got to. It is a suffer though.
But like some of this chocolate you can get is pretty good. Like an ice cream, there's a ice cream you can get from Woolworths. That's cookies and cream. It's vegan, no dairy, no gluten, and it's just all coconut based. And I absolutely love it. Like, it's so good.
So good. Yeah, they are expensive, the little tubs of ice cream, but they're the ones I go for.
So good. Jeff wants to know how you live without cheese.
So cheese is like my favorite thing. Was my favorite. And I guess that's my cheat. Like occasionally I'll have a little bit of cheese, and I do suffer for it. I definitely suffer for it, but you've just got to do it sometimes. Harris Farm do this amazing cheese made out of cashew nuts, and it's very similar to real cheese. So
yeah,
I go for that as well.
Yeah, no, I do love my cheese on crackers. Mercy Valley Ploughman's cheese is like my go-to with a bit of QP.
Oh my god!
Not QP, quince paste. Yeah.
So good. pickled onion
Ooh.
one that they do. That cheese is amazing.
Yeah, that's
But
awesome.
again, not really eat anymore. It's so depressing.
All right, we got any more questions from everyone?
What's my favorite?
What's your favorite flavor of what? Do they
my
even have
goodness.
flavors? I don't know. All I can taste is like my face imploding.
I've got the flavor list right here.
Oh no way! You've got warheads.
So when I did my subathon recently, I thought it was a really cool idea as an incentive for people to gift subs to have warheads and the Bean Boozled.
Oh, yep.
I was so sick. I had like a spitball, and the next morning, I thought I was okay with the warheads, but the next morning, this is maybe TMI, but the skin on the top of my mouth was peeling.
Oh no!
Like, I literally burnt my mouth with warheads. So I wouldn't say favorite flavor of warhead, but I would say the least terrible is probably green apple.
Oh, that's so funny. What's your favorite flavor of jelly bean?
Definitely not Old Bandage.
Oh,
It's brutal.
what? Gross.
Toothpaste was the least gross flavor in those Bean Boozled.
I've been thinking about doing Bean Boozled myself, and from your
Don't do
experience,
it.
I'm sounding like I'm going to regret it.
Don't do it. I'm gonna have PTSD from that shit.
Oh, that's
It's
so
so
funny. So you
Oh, it was
enjoy
the
them, you
worst.
say?
I'm
Oh,
never buying them again. Like, ever.
oh, that's
Maybe
hilarious.
for a charity stream. I would probably put myself through that again for charity, but that's about it.
Yeah, the subathon's not worth it.
Subathon's not worth it. Charity, that's probably the only thing.
Yeah, watch me suffer for charity.
I've done a lot of weird things for charity. Like put my face in a bowl of porridge.
Oh, what's your favorite gaming memory?
Ooh. Any memory. I feel like we've covered a few already, but maybe I don't know. There's so many good moments. I had a really good moment. What day is it today? Saturday.
Yeah.
On Thursday night, we're playing Life is Strange 2 Colors, and that's totally fine. And the moment where Alex hooked up with Steph, that was beautiful. I really loved that.
Spoilers?
Really, well, that's not really a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe you get to choose.
Ah, right. I've played like a little bit of Life is Strange, and it's one of those games that, because it's so story driven, I love story based games. I really want to give it a crack. But I played a little bit of the first one, but I can't remember. I think I got distracted by a different game coming out. But as you do,
the first one's my favorite. It's really good.
Yeah. What's your favorite collectible in your background?
Okay, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Oh, I got a few to choose from.
Probably my big Ellie statue at the top where she's playing guitar.
Oh, yep, from The Last of Us.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite. I've got a totem from Dead by Daylight up there too.
Is that like skulls?
I made myself. Yeah.
That is so cool. Oh, you made that yourself?
Yeah, I made it because my friend Beck and I were doing some cosplay for Dead by Daylight. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Some stuff, so I made that. Yeah, probably my Last of Us stuff's my favorite. I also have a Spider-Man that you can squeeze and it talks, and I've had that since I was 17, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, the Walking Dead Telltale games. They were pretty good too. Terribly sad. Oh, haven't you? They are really good.
No, I need to.
Yeah. Very, very good games. So give them a crack. I mean, the Telltale game series in general, they're all really good. My favorite was Borderlands Telltale games. It was hilarious, like the funniest game I've ever played. But yeah, definitely get onto those if you do like your story, like decision story-based games.
I definitely do. I posted a TikTok recently that was like games that have given me emotional damage.
Yep.
And people have been suggesting some really cool things, and Walking Dead came up on that list. Yeah, so I'll have to try that out. But I know it's gonna maybe make me cry. So
You know what made me cry? It was an emotional game. I don't know if you played Red Dead Redemption 2.
I recently got this, thank you, Kinky, for my birthday, Kink, I think it was, and I have to play it. But my husband, it's his favorite game ever.
Oh, me too. So if I was to put one game as my number one favorite game of ever, is Red Dead Redemption 2. The gameplay, the story, like the story is just like you get to a certain point in the game. I'm not going to spoil it, but especially because you can choose, but like you should choose a good path, and you get to this point in the game, you're like, oh, it's so sad. It was so bad.
Glenn said you really get attached to like your horses too.
Yes.
It's so sad when you lose one, and you've got to like shave your beard hair, and like if you're in the cold, your balls shrink. Like it's apparently a lot of detail.
There is. It's quite good. It's almost a survival game on its own.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to get to that.
Wolf Among Us of the Telltale Games is a really good one as well.
Hex, I have played that one. That is a great game.
Yeah, really good.
I don't think I finished it though. I definitely started playing it, but I might have done what you did. I get distracted sometimes.
Yeah, new game comes out, you're like, oh, I'll jump on that, and then just completely forget that game ever existed.
Exactly. Oh, Detroit Becoming Human was great. Jeff, I loved that game.
I need to. Really that's. I always forget what that game's called. That's the one with the robots, and it's like very story. Yeah. That's on my list of games, but I always forget what it's called. So Jeff, can you remind me about that game later?
Yeah, that one. I feel like that game didn't get hype it deserved. That was a really good game.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. Who would your dream collaboration be with another content creator?
Probably with Kinky.
Kinky?
Kinky and I have already collaborated a few times. Oh my god. Okay, so my dream, you said content creator. My dream content creator collab would be with Jenna Marbles.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, fair enough.
Bring her back. I miss her so much.
I forgot about her actually.
Oh no! What? You monster.
If I was to choose a content creator, I would collaborate with, and this might be just like random, but not random, but like maybe what's mainstream, but it would probably be PewDiePie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So PewDiePie has always been like my number one favorite because he's like, so back when I was 19, that's when PewDiePie really like got popular and was like doing these horror games and his montages, and that's what made me really want to get into content creating. And I did my own YouTube channel and everything, and was trying to be like PewDiePie, blah blah blah. But I just always looked up to his like what he was doing. So he would be someone I'd like if I was ever collaborate with PewDiePie. I'd just be like, yes, be extremely happy.
What would you do? Because his stuff's so vast.
I know. I have no idea. Maybe one of these interviews. Like if I was to interview PewDiePie like this, that would just be it. I'd be happy. I'd be able to shut down the channel and we'd be done.
Would you fangirl the entire time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
I'm always fangirling.
I would fangirl.
I fangirl in the stupidest situations too, like meeting an artist at work. Like, like we have, say, Patricia Piccinini came to work with us recently, and I was just like,
it's funny. Yeah, I would totally fangirl. Like, there would probably be a good 15 minutes of the segment of me just fangirling.
Yeah.
So Diamond in the Rough game is something that you didn't think you would enjoy but did thoroughly.
That's a good one. Well, I mean, I guess Dead by Daylight was something like that for me. And PUBG. PUBG I kind of only played. Like, I didn't actually buy that game. A friend bought it and was like, you have to play this with us because otherwise you're going to be a loner. They all moved to PUBG and I was still playing League of Legends. So we bought it and he's like, you have to just come try it out. And I spent years streaming PUBG. I was terrible at it for the entire time. I used to just run around and treat it like a shopping spree and just collect stuff and then hide in a bush and get shot and die. But I loved it still. We used to play like fun car derby, like customs versions of it where we'd all jump in a car and like hit each other.
Yep.
And try and hit each other out of the circle. probably those games. Dead by Daylight was another one that friends convinced me to get, and I hated it to start off with. But it's like the main game I play now.
Grown to love it. It's funny you say I like PUBG. I don't like playing PUBG just normally because I get so stressed with it. But me and my mates during lockdown of 2020, that's all we played was custom PUBG games. And we just had so much fun with it. It was so hilarious. So I'm actually thinking for our community games night this month, we're going to do PUBG with just everybody. Custom game. And you're going to have a lobby of up to 100 people. So I reckon it'll be a good time.
Yeah, custom PUBG games is so fun.
Kinky's had nightmares from the last PUBG custom games.
Yes. The last ones were pretty brutal.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to do that again. We'll have to come join your community night.
Yeah, more than welcome. We do it on the last Friday night of the month.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it nice and easy to remember.
Yeah.
What questions would I ask PewDiePie? That's a very good question. I probably wouldn't be able to ask him anything that everybody doesn't already know because he's very transparent. So I'd have to come up with a difference.
Can I please have your wife? She's gorgeous.
No, I'm pretty happy with my wife. But I mean, I don't know what I would ask him because there's everything. We kind of already know everything about PewDiePie. Maybe a few of these questions that we're asking here that maybe our community might not know, but yeah.
You could ask him my question. What's a quirky thing that people don't know about you?
Oh yeah, that's a good. I think that would be very interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Jerry? What's a quirky thing that people don't know about you?
Quirky. I mean, I'm the same. I'm pretty transparent on stream. So anything that's quirky, I usually do on stream. I mean, I enjoy Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So there we go. What else? Hey,
Uno reverse.
Yeah, Uno reverse. It's been reversed again. What else is quirky? I mean, that's probably the thing that kind of is a little bit different to what people would expect. So I do like jiu-jitsu. I like camping, and I like going out and camping and like stuff. So like that's another thing that isn't usually common with gamers. But
yeah, it's pretty intense actually.
Ha ha! I see what you did there.
Pity giggle.
Yeah.
I've only recently gotten into camping. I didn't like it for a very long time, but it's fun with friends.
Yeah. Oh, I like fishing. I do enjoy fishing. Yep. So when we go camping with my mates, I'm pretty much on a fishing rod the entire time.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Which is surprising. Like when I was growing up, my dad would take us fishing all the time and I hated it. But now that I'm growing up, I go out fishing. It's the only thing I enjoy doing. So it's like, okay, well, it did rub off on me somewhat.
Yeah. Don't get him started on the dad jokes. Dad jokes are the best jokes.
They are the best jokes.
Yeah.
So I'm actually thinking about adding a dad joke redeem into my channel. Just to get them in there. I'm trying to get some practice in with the dad jokes,
You should do a command. There's dad joke commands that float around.
Interesting.
Just have it so it pulls from a website database of dad jokes, so it's different every time.
That's a good idea. Yeah. That's a great idea. Okay, I'll have to do that.
I think I have it in my stream. I forget what commands I have. I have too many.
Yeah, but I think that's probably it for quirkiness. I mean, I don't know if you consider that quirky or just information about me.
Just fun facts. Yeah.
Fun facts. Quotes is a good one. I've seen people do quotes as well.
There's some really trash quotes in mine. Out of context, they make no sense. But it's like, I'm hiding in a bush. Well, I am. Things from PUBG that just don't sound kind of right out of context.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up here. Thank you everyone for being here today. It's been good. Today's interview has been with Hannabealla. Is that how you say it? Hannabealla?
Yeah, that's
nice. Because I was saying it the wrong way around. For some reason, I was reading the A and E the wrong way around. So when I was first talking about you, I'd be saying Hannabealla. But I've recently
I
like
mean, that works.
I'm trying to make sure I read it, like say it right, especially for the interview.
Yeah.
So today's interview
That's
has with Hannabealla. Let's just give you a shout out here. So everyone who's in here who may not know you, go ahead and give Hanna a follow on Twitch. She streams a lot of great games. Fantastic streamer, as you've probably found. So yeah, go ahead and give her some love and some support. So thanks everyone for being here today. This has been a very, very fun interview. This will be posted on the YouTube channel for Quick Save Gaming. So go ahead and give the Quick Save Gaming YouTube channel a subscribe. If you haven't already, follow the channel here on Twitch. Show us your support. Next week we'll be doing another behind the stream interview, and I'll be interviewing the Quick Save Gaming one and only GIF TV97. So hang around for that. It's going to be 10 a.m. Saturday in a week's time. Further to that, next weekend we're also doing another episode of the Dungeons and Dragons stream, so hang around for that as well. So yeah, it's been good. Thank you for being here, Hanna. It's been a fantastic time getting to know you a little bit more. And yeah,
Thanks so much for having me.
that's fine. It's good. So let's find somebody to raid out to, shall we? Do you have any friends online, Hanna, that you would like to raid?
Let me just have a look. And while I'm having a look, I can see one more question.
Oh, yep.
G'day, I'm Juro94 and I'm an Australian variety streamer. I play a broad range game starting...
I just opened up my channel and it had my trailer like blare in my ears, and everyone would have heard that. Yeah. Oh, how did you get your gaming name?
Yes, my gaming name was from when I was in high school. I played RuneScape, and I wanted it to be Hannabealla, but it was taken. So I added the extra A, and it's just stuck after that. There's nothing like particularly special about it, but that's how I got it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Got it. Okay, let's set up this raid. So again, everybody, thank you for being here. It's been fantastic. Let's go ahead and raid Lost Pod, who is a friend of Hanna's. Let's give them all the love and support, give them some follows, and yeah, let's wrap it up. All right, guys, have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.